Hi everyone, and welcome to the FTC Alumni Spotlight Series hosted by Cybot Robotics Team 21351. And we're so grateful to have you today, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Our goal with this series is to highlight the journeys of first alumni and leaders whose experiences in FTC help shape their future academically, professionally, and personally. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited to learn from your story. Could you please start by introducing yourself, your name, the team you were on, like if you did FTC or FRC, and what you're currently doing in your career?
Okay, hello. My name is Dionna. I was on FRC Team 3561. Currently, I'm in my freshman year of undergrad, majoring in political science, and I have a job where I'm actually a youth mentor
Oh wow.
for STEM.
That's really cool. And moving on to our next question, what originally inspired you to join FRC?
I joined FRC during my sophomore year of high school, and honestly, it was as a joke.
Oh, wait, I want to hear
'Cause-
more.
so, um, it was like during the time where, everyone was joining anything they could to boost their resumes. And so I was like, I'm gonna join robotics. I wasn't like interested in engineering or anything like that, but I went to the meeting and actually my very first meeting was kickoff. So I was
Oh.
just thrown in there. And then I like fell in love with all of the people and everything, and so I stayed.
Oh, well, that's funny. And well, yeah, I just joined normally. I wish I had a funny story. What role did you really play on your team, and how do you think the responsibilities evolved over time?
So when I first joined the team, it was really small. And our second semester, by my second semester, I was growing a lot. And I was actually trusted with creating like officer positions
Oh,
on the team. So I created positions called directors. So we had four of them. I was the director of administration. Then we had one for director of engineering, director in programming, and director for competition. So as the director of administration, I was pretty much like our coach's like right hand slash assistant. Helped with a lot of like the scheduling and stuff like that, and just like everything that my coach would do, pretty much.
oh, okay. Well, that's a big role actually. And is there like a particular season or a challenge that shaped you the most? Like, you know how there's like decode and like, uh, and all that stuff. So, what was your favorite season?
My favorite season was Crescendo because the season before that, um, which was charged up, was my first season, so I really didn't know what I was doing at all. Um, our team, we didn't know what we were doing. Um, we had like tank drive and everything, and for the cones and the cubes, we had like this claw, and we didn't know what we were doing at all. And then Crescendo came around, and we had saw teams the previous season, so we like fundraise, and we were able to get Swerve for the first time, and we were able to have a really good robot, and we ended up qualifying for state for the first time in 14 years. So I think Crescendo will always be my favorite season.
Oh, well, this is my rookie year, and I really enjoyed decode so far. So yeah, I really like that. And is there like a moment? I know I asked you for the season. I kind of forgot about the challenge, but is there a moment that really shaped you when you were in first that you just remember and
Moment
sticks out to
that
you?
shaped me. I would say it was recent. It was during my senior year. It was during state. There was a like it was with Generation Girl. It was like a get together for women in STEM. It
Mhm.
was just in the middle of the competition, and they were asking for pop-up panelists, and so I just decided to volunteer. And it was really nice talking to just the room full of women about my first experience and realizing that a lot of us face the same challenges and difficulties and just getting to know one another.
Oh, well, yeah. That I had similar scenarios actually, so I really enjoyed that info so far. And how has FRC really influenced the way that you think about? You said that you still work as a STEM mentor. How do you think like it shapes the way you work with people?
I would say, especially working with like the youth, working with people, it makes you be just more caring and more empathetic. It's easy to get really competitive when it comes to first, especially when I was a student competing. It was easy to like, when other teams wouldn't pick you for alliances or you were just having a bad day, easy to forget that
Mm.
it simply, I learned that at the end of the day, it is fun and everything, but it is just robots and there's always lessons to be learned.
Oh, well, yeah. I feel like I think about it the same way because I'm on the outreach side, so guessing that's kind of similar to what you did. And I also currently work with kids and a lot of other different kinds of people, so that's been really enjoyable for me. I know you said you were on like the mentoring kind of side, but is there like a specific technical skill that you learned that ended up being useful later?
Yes, so before I like really stepped into my role as director of administration and I was just like
Oh,
floating around the team, my mentor would throw me into like wiring and electrical work, which I had no clue what I was doing, but he taught me and like we took our time and that's something that I really enjoyed doing outside of like outreach and stuff like that.
oh, yeah. I'd say that I've learned similar things. I'm still working, but I'm still learning. So I think we have pretty similar experiences. And how do you think that FRC influenced the way that you lead and communicate with others, like your communication skills?
I would say it's been a really good positive influence. Before I was really shy and reserved, but I mean now I can talk to anyone and I feel like I I'm able to communicate very well. I think doing robotics and like having all of these mentors that are engineers and talking to people, it's like for me, I think if you can talk to an engineer and have a conversation and present to them, because we did a lot of presentations, and if I can do that, then I can communicate with anyone.
Well, yeah, I'd say similar. So, and did you have like a mentor or a teammate that had a really lasting impact? Like just like a friend you made or somebody you really related to that you felt like, oh my gosh, this is my new best friend.
Yes, actually. So he was the director of programming during my time. I was literally just on the phone with him right before I joined this call because we're both mentoring now. So
Oh,
we were talking about that. Um, his name is Aiden. He is a really good inspiration and just someone that's really nice to work with. He is really passionate about the team, and it's just nice knowing that no matter what, he always has the team's best interest at heart.
oh, that sounds really fun. Is he like, was he also on like the mentorship side, like when you guys did FRC, or was he on like a different side, programming, you said?
So we joined the team at the same time, and he was in a grade higher than me. So he graduated in 2024. So he's been mentoring for 2 years now.
Oh,
But he mentors with everything like building and programming wise with the robot.
yeah, we have mentors too. How do you think that gracious professionalism, GP, showed up even in moments that were challenging or competitive? Like when you were working with another team and you were just like against them in a match and you really wanted to win, but they were just they did something to your robot on accident. How did you guys maintain your cool?
That's a really good question. We face that a lot, especially with our newer members on the team. They struggle with gracious professionalism, but we've had an experience where we were competing and Like we got like crazy fouled by a robot, and there were like no foul calls or any penalties, but our robot was like out of commission. So that would have been a good moment to like lose our cool. But like I said earlier, it is just robotics, and that was just a moment for us to test our knowledge and put what we learned to use. So instead of freaking out or, complaining about it, we just got to work and did what we could to fix it and move on.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, we tried to demonstrate gracious professionalism that way. We're a little younger because I'm assuming most of like FRC was high schoolers. Most of us are like early high schoolers, so we also try to demonstrate GP and everything. But sometimes it does get a little hard. How did your background help you with like your college apps and job apps and internships? Anything you've done essentially outside of robotics?
So outside of robotics, I would say that most people that I talk to, whether it's like interviews or applications, them seeing my robotics background will shock them because, like I said, I'm a political science major.
Hmm.
So they automatically think I'm like really focused on law school and that's all the skills I can bring. But I think participating in first really shows how diverse I can be and that I don't have to be put into a box. And just because I'm studying one thing doesn't mean that in my free time I can't do something else.
Yeah, that's a really good outlook, actually. Do you think that your experience helped you stand out or give you confidence in your field? Like you said, you like political science. So, do you think that's helping you stand out from other people?
I do because I think a critical skill that I've learned from first is that, like you said, gracious professionalism is really important. So, majoring in political science and being a part of organizations that can get political, it's easy to lose your professionalism,
Yeah.
especially during times like today. So, just being able to remain calm under pressure is something that I really took from first.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, we also work on that a lot, just maintaining that cool. And do you think that what is something that you do now that directly relates back to when you were on FRC? Like you still think, oh my gosh, I learned that skill, but I still use it.
I would say a skill that I've learned is gracious professionalism. Not to sound redundant, but I think that's like one of the most important things that I do on an everyday basis.
Yeah. And from everything you've learned, what advice would you give to current first students?
I would say to just have fun and I know it's easy to get caught up in the moment doing things, but just having fun and knowing that at the end of the day, um, you're gonna graduate and move on and you will no longer be a student.
Yeah. In your opinion, what do you think separates a good like FRC team from a really exceptional one?
I would say it's things outside of just having like a lot of members and a lot of like sponsors and things like that. I think a good team is a group full of students that are really willing to learn and put in the work.
Yeah. Like I feel like that motivation really is just what keeps a good team thriving, an exceptional team thriving. And to end on a fun note, before our rapid fire round, what's your favorite message that you feel like you could give yourself if you went back in time?
If I could give myself any message going back in time, I would remind myself to take a few breaks. I took FRC really seriously, and so I would always push myself to basically burning out. So I would just remind myself to take a few breaks and to lean on my team because a lot of us were in the same position, and just know that no one is alone. alone doing first.
Yeah, yeah, that just self-reflection moments, I feel like those are the ones that really shape you and help you grow. Okay, moving on to rapid fire. What's your favorite robot that your team has ever built?
My favorite robot, I would say, is this past season for Rescape. It was named Crush.
Ooh.
That robot went through a lot. Um, we we did multiple competitions, and that's all I'll say.
And what about your favorite competition moment? Like something that happened in a competition that was just really funny or something?
So that plays into what I was just talking about with Crush. It was during our last competition of the season. It was an off-season event at Buck Days here in Texas. And during our competition, we missed like 75-80% of our qualification matches
Oh,
because our robot was just like, I don't know, it just did not want to work. So a lot of the time was spent fixing it and like asking people. We were asking different teams and like we did not know what was wrong. It was an off-season event, so we were able to take it home with us and work on it. Luckily, they were up until like 2 a.m. working on it. We still don't know what was wrong with it to this day, but we did get it working, and we ended up getting picked by the second alliance,
oh
and we
wow.
ended up winning that competition. We
Congrats.
got first place, so it was crazy turn of events.
That's impressive. We have a lot of people who work really late, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. They just
hmm
keep pushing. Okay, any first inside jokes your team had?
So we have some shirts. I'm not wearing it right now, but one of our older shirts, inside of it, there's a can of soup. And that's an inside joke that stems from one of our road trips. Someone on the team bought a random can of soup and named it James. And after that, like five of our robots were called James. And we changed the acronym for it each year to make it fit with the theme. Sometimes there was no acronym, we just named the robot James.
Yeah, that's funny. Our, we name our things after pop stars, so we can
Nice.
relate. And
Nice.
if you had to describe first in just one word, what would it be?
I would say first is excellent.
Yes, I agree. Okay, just some concluding questions. What do you think that the future of First is going to look like, and what do you hope it will look like?
I hope the future of FRC looks really well, not only like growing on the engineering side, but also on the outreach side.
Mhm.
I especially regarding social media. I know my team is trying to grow in that part, and I hope others can as well, so that we can shed more light on what First is as a whole.
Yeah, I agree. As a member of the outreach team, I really feel like we just have to exemplify how much we market ourselves, how much we can advocate for STEM, and all of that jazz. And finally, how can the First community continue supporting alumni like you?
I would say events like this interview is really nice.
Thank you.
Um, yes. And just like volunteering, always making sure that's something that's able to be done because I've been volunteering since I graduated, and I think that's something that's really good to keep me involved.
Yeah, when I leave first, I really hope to continue staying involved as well, and I feel like those are some of the main ways. So
Yeah,
your story is so inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing your
thank
story
you.
with us today, and just your insights are going to make such a meaningful difference on so many younger students and teams across across the world actually. And we're so excited to share your interview with the broader First community. Thank you so much. You are shaping the next generation of innovators. We'd love to
Of
collaborate in the
course,
future.
thank you.